Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, an XRP community member who holds about 3 million XRP is concerned because there was a report that was put together issuing a lot of harsh criticisms and concerns specifically with Ripple and XRP. And I was tagged in a tweet along with a couple of my fellow XRP YouTubers because this individual, understandably, and just wanting to get to the heart of the matter, understand whatever is true, was concerned about this. And if you've got that kind of investment, yes, it's reasonable to be concerned. So I went through this document and I read it, and it is... I'll tell you this, nothing against the individual that wrote it. They may, I don't know for sure if they're trolling. Maybe they firmly believe everything that they met. I would encourage the author to do a lot more research, because the assertions made within this thing are way off base, but that's why Uncle Moon Lambo is here, to clean up train wrecks like this. So no offense by that. I'm having a little fun with this, but this is pretty bad. It's pretty bad, to be honest with you. But before going any further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so please take this to heart, especially you with roughly 3 million XRP. Just to be super duper clear, I'm going to share with you my opinion, and I welcome all criticism of my ideas, as long as things don't get personal. I love having my ideas criticized because I think it's fun to have debate on this topic. I genuinely enjoy it, as long as people are always playing nice. I think it's awesome stuff here, but I want to emphasize extra, since we're talking about concern about your 3 million XRP here. There is no guarantee. Like, even if it's reasonable for me to believe what I believe, and I do believe what I'm about to share with you, and I'm really going to break this thing down here, there's no way to know for sure what the crypto space is going to look like in 5 years or 10 years or even in 1 year. So it's been quite a ride to this point, but just keep that in mind as I go through this. And so here's the tweet. It comes from somebody within our community named Sam, and he tagged me along with the digital asset investor and also Mickle XRP. So I tagged the three of us and then wrote, "Can my favorite YouTubers put my mind at ease with regard to the Minds Are Free pinned post regarding XRP price movement? I hold almost 3 million, excuse me, I hold almost 3 million XRP, have friends and family investing. Love your thoughts and would make a great video." Excuse me. And so this is the individual here that goes by the name Equilibrium who put this document out, and it's now circulating here. This thing is 4 pages, and it's too much for me to go through in one video, I think. So I'm going to go through the first 2 pages, and if everybody wants, I'm happy to cover the other 2 in a separate video, but this is too much for one sitting right now. Like, I don't even have sufficient time to go through that, but I did read the whole thing, and I just think it's way off base here. So here's the title of this thing. "Serious Issues with Ripple and XRP," and then in parentheses it states "community-based investigation." So it says community. As far as I can tell, it's just one individual that wrote this up, and some of this is honestly a bit redundant, as you'll see as I go through this, but let's just dive right into this. So it begins as follows. "We've been XRP holders since 2018. We've supported Ripple and patiently waited for a long time, but now it's time to analyze why the price is not going up and what Ripple is building. In short, what Ripple is doing doesn't benefit the price of XRP and retailers at all." So let's pause right there. You have no right to expect that Ripple should do anything for you specifically. XRP is not a security of Ripple. I do believe that development on top of the XRP ledger over the long haul, especially in a mature market, can be very good for the price action of XRP or any specific cryptocurrency here. But to put this all on Ripple is to completely not understand what is a decentralized cryptocurrency and what is a security. So it's not that if Ripple does awesome stuff, it wouldn't necessarily impact the price of XRP, but it's unreasonable to expect them to do all this heavy lifting for you. And they've clearly been good actors in the space, doing their best to increase adoption of XRP. And I'd say to this point they've done it, but this is an immature market and all cryptocurrencies move in tandem. This is provably true. I've talked about this in so many videos. And It's unreasonable to think that XRP, out of over 18,000 cryptocurrencies existing in this nascent market, would be the only one where people actually adopt it and treat it in a way different than the rest of them in this early days. This is the same thing you saw in the dot-com boom and bust. Nobody actually cared, well, I say nobody, almost nobody cared about the actual fundamentals of companies during the dot-com boom and bust. You have a .com on your company name? Here's my money, take it, damn it. It was that type of mindset. Well, that's what we're living in here in 2022 in this crypto mania phase right here. We haven't flushed out all of the nonsense. So utility be damned. Like, I think it's going to matter in the long haul. I've always said utility matters and will win the day, but we're certainly not there. So what are the actual grievances? Well, here's number one. Ripple created a private liquidity hub, and then parentheses they write their own XRP liquidity pool, and then they continue, to be used for banks / institutions / companies / governments, as well as private XRP loans. Also, they are building Ripple's private ledger for central bank digital currencies. Ripple will utilize their own XRP from their own wallets, meaning the on-demand liquidity will be privatized. It doesn't positively affect XRP. Retailers are out of the game. And they wrote that in bold, so they really mean that part. This is literally not true. This is a misunderstanding. Let me go through each piece of this. Ripple created a private liquidity hub. Yes, they did. In fact, here was the announcement, November 9th, 2021. Do you know what this is? Ripple has a bunch of customers. You know what their customers are? They're banks and financial institutions, remittance companies. And you know what they came to Ripple with? And many of them already utilizing on-demand liquidity, which uses XRP as a bridge currency. They came to him and said, hey, can you help us with liquidity for any other cryptocurrencies? Like, you're already doing this for XRP. What about Bitcoin and Ether? And so Ripple actually created Liquidity Hub, which doesn't mean Ripple's, this is not something where, this product anyway, this is not where they're giving out their XRP. That's not what this is. So when they wrote Ripple created a private liquidity hub, that's not the case. Any of their customers will have access to this, but Ripple's not the one doling out liquidity in this case. They're actually performing a service more like a Kayak. You guys familiar with Kayak? You can go to Kayak and plan your vacation, and I've never used them, but they'll share you competing rates from a number of different airlines, so you can choose the cheapest rate or whatever airline is most appealing to you for whatever metric you're looking at. I believe they do the same for car rentals. Again, I've never used them, but that's what they're doing. So it's a service where you can say, here's the companies participating in the space. So what it means is if you're a customer of Ripple, you can connect to all sorts of exchanges, market makers that are offering liquidity, whether it's Bitcoin or Ether or XRP. XRP is indeed a part of this. And as it turns out, the reason that they're doing this is because their customers want to be able to, Ripple's customers want to be able to offer their customers, which may just be retail speculators, the opportunity to purchase XRP or Bitcoin or Ether from them. So that would increase demand, which would, in fact, impact positively over a reasonable time horizon, the price for all these cryptocurrencies if adoption is taking hold. So to state that this is something private and it's bad and it's not good for XRP is to misunderstand what Liquidity Hub is. It's Ripple offering their customers, which are financial institutions, the opportunity to offer their customers, which are presumably just retail speculators like you and I, the opportunity to purchase cryptocurrency, and sometimes not just that, but to custody the crypto on their behalf. That's real world adoption. That's awesome. That's what Liquidity Hub is. So Ripple's just being a matchmaker here. That's all it is. That's awesome. That's why it's the same as Kayak or Google Flights. That's literally all that it is. Now, as far as XRP offering private loans, they actually are. What he's talking about here is a line of credit, which is what's on your screen right now. I don't want to go in depth on this. I've covered all of this in previous videos here. But line of credit, it helps so that, because look, if you're a large firm, you can pre-fund accounts and Nostrovostra accounts. If you're a small firm, you may not be able to make the same big moves that your larger competitors can. You know, cash is king when you're running a business here. And so what you can do, instead of, basically having dormant capital somewhere, if you want to participate on RippleNet and on-demand liquidity, XRP can be loaned to you for a small fee. That's adoption of XRP as a bridge currency. That's not a bad thing. And it's not that that's going to, because that's happening, it doesn't mean that XRP goes from what the price it is now to $100. That's an unreasonable expectation anyway. But this helps with adoption. If XRP is easier to use, more firms adopt it, and all that's going to do as adoption of XRP increases in the real world use cases, people will increase their speculation on any asset that's actually getting usage, because the mindset obviously is, if this is helping real people solve real problems, might it be safe if I want to diversify into crypto to park some of my money into a crypto that's actually solving problems like that? I think the answer is yes. My speculation is the answer is yes. Ripple, as far as the central bank digital currencies, which are cited here, yes. Ripple, they did create a private ledger for central banks specifically, which is a template of the XRP ledger, because Ripple sees that there's going to be central bank digital currencies. They're trying to spur adoption faster because XRP can be the glue to move. Because you're going to look, all these central bank digital currencies, they're not going to naturally interoperate. There's not going to be markets made for every single central bank digital currency on the planet. You need to be able to glue them together with a bridge currency like XRP. So that's the all of this. It's genius ideas. We'll see how it pans out. We don't know for sure, but this is all a good plan. That's incredible. But as far as stating that Ripple will utilize their own XRP from their own wallets, meaning on-demand liquidity will be privatized, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, RippleNet is proprietary software. That's not a surprise. But XRP, it's decentralized. And the liquidity that can be tapped into, it could just be if you're actually selling XRP on an exchange. Understand, on-demand liquidity is automated. So if you're selling your XRP on an exchange where there's an on-demand liquidity corridor, the efficient path-seeking algorithm that is on-demand liquidity could purchase that from you. You might not know that it's just Ripple's technology, not a real human sitting there manually making decisions. Their technology could just purchase your XRP and then zip it to the other end of the corridor, the receiving end of the corridor, where it's then sold into a different fiat currency on that exchange. That's not, what do you mean it's privatized? I mean, yes, there's proprietary software, but that'll directly impact demand on XRP in the real world if people are buying and selling it. It couldn't be more obvious. So to state that retailers are out of the game, no, they could be part of on-demand liquidity and not even know it. So this is a complete misunderstanding of Ripple's products and supply and demand in the crypto space. It's a complete misunderstanding. So no offense to the guy, but you're way off base, which is why, again, I encourage you to just do a lot more research. Point number 2, the banks/institutions that want to hold XRP, they buy via OTC, which is over the counter, and then parentheses states, buys XRP for a low price, sale and or directly from Ripple. Ripple officially has 6 billion XRP on hand. They also have 4 billion under different private wallets on top of their 47 billion of XRP in escrow. Also, Ripple sets up non-cash agreements with companies, pre-allocated, pre-contractual amounts of XRP through the options contracts. It doesn't positively affect XRP price. Retailers are out of the game. So again, this is also to misunderstand how supply and demand works, and to also misunderstand what Ripple's also offering. Now, Ripple has in the past, I don't know if they still do this, but for their select partners, and they sell to almost nobody, only key partners, they have offered price below, a little bit below, the current global rate of whatever the XRP price is, but that's risky. And some of their customers took them up on it, but there were lockup periods, sometimes like a year. So think about that. There are some firms that were purchasing XRP and they were, still in the bear market. So they bought it and they couldn't even sell it for a year later, and the price was going down. So if you think that's some sort of sweetheart deal, it's like, But look what's happening here. This XRP needs to be dispersed out into the ecosystem anyway. And so the more gets sold, especially if you're talking about participants in the ecosystem, if they're going to become market makers, I'm particularly interested in that. A lot of these are cryptocurrency exchanges that have a bunch of XRP on hand so that on-demand liquidity can work. All of that's good because all that's going to do is spur additional speculation on the part of retail investors, and it's that speculation from retail investors that determines what the open market price globally of XRP is. That's how it works. And so to think that this is bad is to completely misunderstand how the ecosystem works. Number 3, the transaction settles within 3 to 5 seconds. No need to hold/buy XRP. Most banks/institutions will just temporarily borrow XRP from Ripple's Liquidity Hub. It doesn't positively affect XRP price. Retailers are out of the game. So I like this phrase, retailers are out of the game. Well, no, that's not even remotely true. And you falsely stated here that banks and institutions would borrow XRP from Ripple's Liquidity Hub. No, again, the Liquidity Hub, and this is why you got to do more research. You don't know what you're talking about here. Liquidity Hub is like Kayak. It's connecting exchanges and participants within just the crypto ecosystem that are holders of Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP, you name it. And so, no, it's not the case. Now, there is a line of credit that Ripple offers for small, medium-sized business, but as I already cited, I'm not going to go through that again. I already cited exactly how that should help the XRP ecosystem. So you're completely misunderstanding. But even if you set aside all of that nonsense, you said the transaction settles within 3 to 5 seconds. This sounds a lot like XRP is too fast to be worth anything. No need to hold or buy XRP. Well, my friend, somebody needs to buy or sell or hold it, or else where the hell do you think the liquidity is coming from? If nobody's selling XRP, then how does on-demand liquidity software buy XRP within an on-demand liquidity corridor? Somebody has to have it. And so the more corridors that open up, the more XRP has to be held. And then if that also spurs speculation, there's less out there then. It's already being held by institutions and so on and so forth. This makes no sense right here. So on this idea of XRP is too fast. You guys ever seen FUDBingo.com? I've highlighted this on my channel before, and I'll go through just a little bit of this. This is fantastic. It basically just shreds all sorts of misconceptions about XRP and adoption and this and that. But so here's the FUD piece in question. Price won't rise because XRP is too fast. And so the statement goes something like this. XRP settles so fast that it will only be removed for 3 seconds at a time from the market. Therefore, the net XRP removed from the market will be 0, and it won't rise in value. So let me just pause here to note, what if we have a world where there are tens of thousands of XRP transactions per second, which, by the way, can happen because payments can be batched, so we're not going to be stuck at a 1,500 transaction per second limit if you're worried about that, which is the layer 1 limit. You can batch these things. So you have payment channels. What if there are tens of thousands of transactions per second on a XRP that's adopted at scale? That many transactions being out of the market, even for 3 to 5 seconds, you don't think that's going to impact demand? You fundamentally misunderstand supply and demand if that's what you think here. And so here they write, common sense failure for this statement. If you have a system with all variables remaining the same except for the number of transactions, and then you go from 0 transactions to, let's say, 100,000 transactions per day, this statement would have you believe that the initial price of the bridge asset used in each transaction will not move, even though the demand on the network has increased by a count of 100,000. That's what I was getting at. It becomes obvious that you should stop and immediately discard this false notion. And again, folks, the liquidity has to come from somewhere. It's going to impact markets, period. And a lot of it comes from market makers. Don't assume that all of this, the majority, is necessarily going to come from Ripple. And then here's another one. This FUD assumes no active trading or speculation, which is it's going to be a huge driver. It has been like the primary driver of the price action of XRP. Setting utility aside, the vast majority of XRP's positive price action has been just speculation. So take a look at this. The Forex market is one example to look to for confirmation or a discarding of any fringe theories that you may hear about. The Forex market, where traders buy and sell currencies, happens very quickly, in seconds, and involves massive volumes. This active trading adds significantly to demand because the traders know that these currencies will be needed due to economic conditions. Given this, we can expect significant speculation to follow utility-driven demand for XRP as well. So folks, that's what I've been getting at here. If people want to diversify and they want to get into crypto, they understand the opportunity for asymmetrical gains, and they know that businesses are using this and it just looks like adoption is increasing, might more people put money into XRP, impacting the available supply, increasing the price? It's supply and demand. That's pretty reasonable to speculate this. And then take a look at this one. This FUD assumes no existence of market makers, another thing I was getting at. Someone needs to be holding those assets at each end for them to be able to make those offers. That someone is market makers. If there's competition between market makers, then that's a huge source of demand for XRP. The competition between market makers who are holding XRP and trying to bridge those payments at competitive rates means that they will have to have a steady supply of XRP available, i.e., they'll need to purchase it. No kidding. So, gosh, this video is already going longer. I was hoping to have gotten through a lot more of this at this point, but I guess it takes a lot of time to shred this. So on my part, it may have been wishful thinking. I'm going to have to turn this into multiple videos to properly go through this, because I'm already at over 20 minutes on this thing. And I want to, because I enjoy discussing this. To me, this is very fun to just engage in critical thinking and go through why all this is nonsense. I only made it through 3 points, and there's 6 on the first page, and then there's a whole second page, which has a headline, very concerning. And I've read through all of this, and I want to continue to rip this to shreds, because what is, again, nothing personal to the author, but like, this is bad. This has not been sufficiently researched, and you put this out into the world, and so it deserves to be critiqued heavily, and that's what I'm doing right here. But I'm going to have to come back and just cover the rest. Point number 4 is particularly interesting, because he gets into the circulating supplies. If there's just too much XRP or something like that, and it's bad for the price action of XRP, man, I could make a whole video just on that point. See, that's the thing. Like, I try and get through these things, but if I'm going to like sufficiently and fully cover this, sometimes it just takes a lot of time. So anyway, to anybody that's been concerned if they read this, and obviously there's been at least one person I highlighted because they tagged me in this, brought this to my attention. Is anybody out there that's concerned about this, make your own decision. I'll just tell you this, having read the whole thing twice, it doesn't make sense. Like, that's my honest opinion. And these types of things, it's reasonable to think about all of this. Like, all of these things that are brought up here, like pretty much all of them, with rare exception, I thought about in the earliest days of my purchases of XRP, because if I was going to do it, I wanted to make sure I understood this. And I was like, what are all the dynamics? What are all the moving parts? And I was trying to throw every bad idea at XRP that I could. Like, I want to throw even the kitchen sink at the damn thing and see if I could break the concept of XRP making sense as a long-term investment opportunity. And I wasn't able to break the idea. Like, I was throwing every idea at it and thinking through it and asking questions of people that were in the community much longer than me at that point. And I've been in it since 2017, and I couldn't break the idea. So that's why, and then I got excited, because I understand the asymmetrical opportunity here and all that jazz. So no, but I do want to talk about the rest of this. I'm just going to have to come back. I'm sorry, folks. I wanted to cover at least the first 2 pages in this video, but I guess that was wishful thinking. But I promise, because this is really interesting content, I will come back to discuss this travesty of a document in the future, probably tomorrow. But I'll wrap up here for now. And thank you very much for watching. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.